How big would you guess the gaming industry is? Like, how much is it worth? 1 billion? 5 billion? 10 billion? 100 billion? No. $152 billion. That is how much the gaming industry is projected to be worth by the end of 2019. By the end of this year, $152 billion. And 45% of that number, $68.5 billion, is going to come strictly from mobile games. Mobile gaming is huge. It's it's amazing how much mobile gaming has just grown. And now, just to throw some numbers at you at just how big mobile gaming has become, mobile games now account for almost 33% of all app downloads on phones. And by the end of this year, it's projected that 2.4 billion people will be playing mobile games. So that's 1/3 the population of Earth will be playing mobile games on their phones. And 50% of people who already have phones play games. So if you have a phone, there's a 50% chance you're playing a game. In fact, the time that people spend each day on their mobile devices is now more than they spend on television. So people now spend 8 minutes more each day on their mobile devices than they do watching television. And in just the next couple years, that number is expected to go up to 30 more minutes, which means that people are just going to be looking at their phones more and more as time goes on. And not only that, but the average age of a gamer, get this, the average age back in 2014 of a mobile gamer was around 28 years old, and today that number is more around 36, which means older and older people are playing games, and people who were playing games years ago when they were younger are now still playing games into adulthood. It's ever growing. And that really changes the stereotype of what it is to be a gamer. You know, most people think that a gamer is just some kid sitting in his room playing games on a TV, and in reality, people are playing games everywhere of all ages. Heck, you can see grandmas and grandpas playing Candy Crush or just the simplest mobile games, and it's still a video game, it's just on a phone. But it's still so accessible to just everybody now that it has just caught fire, and it's just amazing to see. And because of all this growth, companies and governments alike are like starting to really see the potential in gaming, how much money it can make, and how many eyeballs are on screens playing video games, that they've been making some substantial investments in games. You know, we have larger gaming studios acquiring smaller gaming studios. We have Microsoft really just acquiring all of these gaming studios to start making exclusives. We have these huge mobile gaming companies like Tencent Media, which is based over in China, that are just killing it when it comes to mobile gaming and making a killing. And some governments, even though with all the controversy recently about whether video games cause violence and all that, governments are actually giving companies subsidies and incentive to come and create studios in their countries because they realize the amount of tax they could get from these huge companies with the amount of money they're making. It's insane, and it really incentivizes these countries to want studios to develop on their soil. Now, my opinion is, with mobile gaming being so big, first, I didn't know it was anywhere near this size. I didn't even know gaming was worth this much money, to be honest. But even though the money that comes from gaming, almost half of it comes from mobile games, even with that fact, I think that's okay. You know, so a lot of people like to rat on mobile games and how if you're just some guy who plays mobile games and you don't play on a PC or a console, then you're not a real gamer. I get it. I get it. They're not real gamers, as in they're not a gamer as you are. They're usually not into the same games, right? It's very hard to get a regular gaming experience that you would get on a PC or a console on your phone. That's why phones and mobile games are different, usually more simple and lower cost than a PC or console game, because there's going to be just a lot more money and resources put into those higher end games, and they're going to attract a different audience. But with mobile gaming, it's freaking huge. And the thing that's so fascinating about this, mobile games are not sold at the same price as a regular retail game would be that you would buy on an actual piece of hardware made for gaming, right? Mobile games are not marketed at $50, $60. They're marketed at like either being usually below $10 or a lot of times free. And so what that means is most of this money, most of this $68 billion is coming from in-app purchases. It's coming from loot boxes and microtransactions on these mobile games, which is just, it blows my mind. It blows my mind at how, a game like Candy Crush or any other game that has these microtransactions can really generate this much money, and that's a big reason why investors are finally starting to want a piece of this pie that is mobile gaming. The business model is just so lucrative. You have low cost, simple mobile games that you can make. You can put simple microtransactions in it with cosmetics or little tools or gems, or in-game currency that you can charge a buttload of money for and make just a ton of profit from just putting in these simple mechanics that really don't take a lot of time to make on the developer side. So with all that being said, are you surprised that mobile gaming is as big as it is, that it's 50% of the total worth of video games on the market this year? Would you like to see that change? Do you think mobile games need to pick a different strategy when it comes to monetization? Less microtransactions? Do you see mobile gaming maybe just taking over in the future and becoming the new norm, while the traditional gamer who plays on a PC or console kind of gets thrown to the wayside? Yeah, whatever you think, leave a comment. Remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, that's it.